Hey Megtoes, this is Vention. Silly me. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning this morning, duh, and I forgot that I have just switched over to swing shift. Oh man, senior moment. So basically, instead of getting up at 3:30 in the morning now, I don't have to get up till like maybe 10. So that leaves me with a little bit of time. I think I'll go to the garage in a little while and pull my power steering hose because it is starting to drip a little bit of power steering fluid on the exhaust manifold and make a nice little cloud of smoke. And I did have a bad intake or valve cover gasket, and had to change that. But that power steering hose is leaking just a little bit. Smoke isn't as bad, but man, I want to nurse that car along until I can be Bitcoin retired and pull the whole plug on my entire life here and start my new life as a Bitcoin retiree. And I'm going to sell the house, but I'll get to that in a few minutes. The main purpose of this video is about this young woman right here, and to me she is young. She's 27, but in woman age she is getting just a few years away from hitting the wall. So basically, her name is Georgia Free, and if you want to be with her, it will not be free. It will cost you a lot of money. So her video is Quarter Life Crisis, How It Feels to Hit the Wall. Well, she's a little past quarter life because she's 27, but I take her point. So basically, she's wondering what to do. She's did the whole student loan thing. I assume she's probably up to her ears in student loans. And I think she's going to be going to the medical industry somewhere, and as a result, she's got a bright career ahead of her, but it will not really leave time for having kids, right? And she's wondering what to do because she has obviously painted herself into a corner to some degree. So, what did I suggest? I did leave a comment, and I suggested that. First, she get behind her chosen career and push it for everything she's got, right? Sock away that money, and I included buy bitcoins and maybe some of the top 5 cryptos, and then and also freeze her eggs, and ramp her spending down as low as she can go and sock away every penny she can, and then in 20 years she could probably retire, right? Or sooner if she invests heavily in cryptos. And then she could hire a surrogate mother to carry the one of the eggs that she froze, and then she could be a full-time stay-at-home mother, whatever, and do her whole reproduction thing, with all the time necessary, because women who warehouse their kid in daycare, just the kids are damaged from that shit. It's a betrayal every single time the mother drops the kid off at daycare, and if the kid doesn't react badly to that, it just means that he or she is not. He's already been emotionally destroyed because there's that bond isn't there. So the kid is going to be in bad shape no matter what. So if the kid is healthy, the kid will raise hell every time she tries to abandon the kid at daycare, right? So, and then during this time, while she's basically socking away money, she can then keep her eyes open for a simp who is willing to pay her student loans off and give her what she wants for free, right? Such men are getting kind of rare because the men who have money tend to be higher IQ, and they seem to be a little bit more aware of the dangers of getting married. And man, even if I met her, even if I met her standards, and I was in her age group, I would not want to do that because, man, paying off medical school student loans, uh, uh, to have a woman who could just be just as good as some 18-year-old chick, right? As a mother, it just doesn't make any sense at all. So I would recommend that she freeze her eggs, push her career as far as she can, save every penny she can, retire early, have a surrogate mother, and raise the kid that way, and keep her eye open for a simp who's willing and able somehow, even though men are not earning what we used to. There's still a few that do, and some of them are stupid enough to marry her and take on all that student debt. So, that is my advice to her. So, I think I'll leave a link to the original video. I don't feel terribly sympathetic. And basically, she's also spoken. She's a fairly new channel. One of your typical trad thoughts that show up. Pretty soon she'll probably have a donation address out there. They show up and say, "Oh, let's traditional. Isn't traditional great?" And then join my Patreon. Yeah, and then all the simps join her Patreon. I've done that for one, which I have revoked since then. What the heck was her name? Some typical blonde chick in the Seattle area. Can't remember her. Anyway, so in other news, my plans for expatriating to Southeast Asia and retiring there, I think I'm just going to have to say, sorry, I just can't do it. Because if I ended up there, I would have nothing to do. I love machines and I love tools, and I am happy whenever I'm working on a machine. And in Southeast Asia, my ability to do that would just be gone because guys over there are working for like $1 an hour, and or a couple dollars an hour, and I can't afford. And it just doesn't make sense for me to work for those wages, so I wouldn't be doing it, right? But if I stay here, I've got a shot at having some satisfying, meaningful work that might actually do some good. So while I'm retired, so I'll be like sort of semi-retired, and I'll sort of be a mechanic too. My plan is to dump this house on the market, rent a place that's rural, right, and then get my truck some of the work that I can't do done, like suspension work, bushings, and stuff like that. New tires, maybe wheel seals, possibly have them pull the wheels and look at the bearings, things like that. And while I shop for and order a camper, right? A camper for the pickup truck, but it won't be like the last one, that rotten ass old piece of shit. This one I'm gonna go quality on. I'm gonna get one of those newer ones that have a welded aluminum frame and high density foam insulation, and And basically, if it does leak, which it chances are wouldn't because it's all one continuous sheet up there, but if it does leak, nothing will rot because nothing can rot because it's aluminum and foam rubber, right? And then so the structural strength of the plate of the thing wouldn't be destroyed if it gets a leak like that other one did. Second thing, I'm going to order it or pull the toilet and pull or order the unit without a black water tank. And I'm going to put trays underneath where the black water tank is with a door so that I can, so that my camper will effectively be a roll around toolbox as well. I'll be able to reach down, open the door, and the trays will be about that tall, and I'll be able to pull them out. There's other models that have these trays, and I'll just have them put those in. I could probably get 3 of those long, skinny trays, and that is just as good as a medium-sized roll-around toolbox at work. So then I'd just pull up to whatever truck or tractor or harvester or generator or whatever that I'm working on or project, and then I could just open the thing up and slide the tools open, and then I would have full access to my tools and I could do the work and like that. A lot of full-time RV people, they have a hard time finding places to park, and they park on like BLM land and try to do stealth camping in the cities and stuff. But for me, I would be going mostly from permaculture site to permaculture site, and there is plenty of parking in places like that. And right now, even though the house is paid off, I pay about $300 a month in property tax and more in utilities, and the municipal water and sewer is just expensive, and all of this money is just a constant drain. But if I go mobile, and sort of frugalize or simplify my life down to the point where I just have what is in the camper and the truck, and then that's it, and that's my home, right? And I won't have any of that property tax to pay, and a lot of those taxes and on my income and a lot of and the taxes on my property, they'll just all go away because I will be mobile and I won't actually have a real job, and I will basically keep my capital gains, the amount I draw out of Bitcoins every month. I'll keep that below $38,600 a month. And when I do that, I will pay 0 income tax, 0 Social Security tax, 0 Medicare, 0 anything. So all that money that I am currently paying, which is being diverted away from what I would prefer it to go to, and being spent on feminist programs and bombs to blow up weddings in foreign countries, I really am tired of paying that shit. So once I go fully mobile like that, my tax footprint and my income that's stolen from me will just drop away, and I will be living a way that is like almost completely outside of the conventional system. Then I'll just go from permaculture site to permaculture site and do various projects. Some of them will be mechanical. I might be building rocket mass heaters. I might be putting in solar power collection systems, landscaping to harvest water, and there's just a ton of stuff to do. And that is something that I would like to kind of put my shoulder behind and push a little bit, because we are headed for a time when technological unemployment will be pretty bad for men, because like the number one job for men supposedly, so I've heard, is driver, truck driver, Uber driver, delivery driver, you know things like that. And all of that is going to go away when self-driving trucks and cars become a real big thing, right? And that's probably 8 years maybe away. And then all of these guys they're going to be suddenly unemployable pretty much, and they're going to need something to do. What I'd like to do is set up a paint by the numbers plan that is like, put this plant in here, put this plant in here, landscape in this way, and then you will have productivity, right? So basically, that would cause a lot of guys who are like destroyed because they've been completely downsized because they've been outcompeted by self-driving cars and other technological unemployment, but and they're going to be living on like some like state benefits or welfare, if those even exist. Those people will then be able to go more rural and work on these things, or possibly join groups of other guys who've also been downsized, and put in the permaculture improvements in these vacant lots and vacant properties, and then create tremendous productivity and highly nutrient dense food, which is like vastly better than what you can get in the grocery store. And it's something to do. It's a lease on life, and it's something productive that people can do, and when you're productive, you get a lot of self-image, and a lot of value for of your own self. Otherwise, these guys, they basically go into a death spiral of inactivity, and then they end up dying early, right? So what I'd like to do, get more into permaculture, learn it a lot more than I do now, work with it, and start creating these paint by the numbers, really simple things that you can do to start, right, in this. So that's what I want to do with the next 10 years or so of my life. And that is an exciting project, and it really doesn't support the conventional system, because I will be like nearly tax invisible. The only thing I'll be paying is like my truck's license tabs and medical insurance for catastrophic medical. For like day-to-day stuff, I'll just pay as I go in those pay-as-you-go medical establishments, which are getting more and more popular now. And then I will, I'll be basically outside of the system, living extremely inexpensively, and I will have money in the form of bitcoins, which is very difficult for government to seize or devalue with inflation. And I'll also have probably what comes from the house. I'll store that in vaulted gold in a couple of different places. And so I'll be able to draw upon that, especially if I need more than 38,000 in 1 year for some reason. I can draw from the house money from that. Then I will still pay no income tax. So that's the plan as of now. I mean, it's changing. I'm backing away from Southeast Asia, although I may go there on vacation. I don't think I want to live there. I find it vastly more exciting to do the whole mobile permaculture, wandering mechanic for permaculture projects thing. That is exciting and interesting and productive, And I can also check out of the conventional economic system at the same time and stop supporting this toxic, man-hating freaking civilization that we've got going, and allow it to collapse and help build something to take its place in the future. So that's what I'm planning so far. I'm thinking all I need is bitcoins to be around $16,000-$17,000 or so, and I can make this work. It pencils out. So I think I will pretty much follow that plan from going forward. It's subject to change, but that's the plan I'm really shooting for right now. So that's about all I got for you guys, and don't get married.